What's up everybody, my name is Ryan with Silver Luthier, and today I'm going to show you how to string an acoustic guitar. Okay, so these are the bridge pins. This is what they look like. They're made of plastic, bone, brass, all kinds of different stuff. And the basic premise of these is these will go in the hole and help hold your strings in place against the bridge. So we'll take these out and get them ready for the strings. Alright, so I got a little piece of wood here for a demonstration. What you want to see when you put your string through your string hole here on the bridge, and you put your little bridge pin through here, you don't want the head to get stuck on the edge of your bridge pin like that, and which can happen quite often. So you got to make sure it's pulled up sort of in the crotch, so to speak, right there, because that's what's going to hold it in place firmly. So what I like to do, actually, see, even now this is difficult to get out, is I like to give my strings just a little kink, just a little bend like that. That way when you put it in and you slide your bridge pin down inside there, it's less likely to do that. It just kind of pulls right up. It doesn't do that. But you always got to make sure that that's in the proper place, just like that. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you're going to put the right gauge string in the right hole. So you go ahead and put the first one in and seat that pin right there. So now what I like to do before I seat all of my bridge pins in place, before I tighten the strings down, is reach my hand in the sound hole and just feel and make sure that I've got each one in the proper position. And it's really easy to check. And then just give them a good little push down, seat them nice and tight. All right, let's double check and see how I did there. Alright, that looks pretty good. You'll notice they're all nice and tight up in the little, in the corner there, in the crotch, as I'm calling it. That looks great. Alright, time to string them up. Now, one of the first things you want to do is make sure that your hole that your string's going to pass through is more or less lined up with this direction. You don't want your string to have to come through this way or something. So I just like to kind of adjust, get them looking good so that the string can just pass easily through in its natural direction like that. Alright, so let's run our first string. We're going to start with the low E. You pretty much start with whichever one you want. Just pass it through. Now what I like to do as far as how much string to pull through is just kind of put one finger at the 12th fret here and just bend some other fingers and then pull it tight. And that's generally my measurement of how much slack you want to leave in the string before tightening it down up here. Alright, so now I'm going to show you the proper method of tying a string. What you want to do is you want to go around the top side, tuck this little piece underneath, wrap it around the post at the length. Remember, right at the length I just showed you at the 12th fret where you pull it tight. So it goes underneath and then it bends over like that. And then that's how you properly do it. And then as you begin to tighten the string, it pulls it nice and tight. You want to make sure you don't have any slack in there. And it ties it off real good. Pass it through the top. Remember, finger on the 12th fret. That way you can kind of judge how much exactly you're going to need. And then once you figure it out, bend around the top, pull the string underneath, pull it tight, and then bend it over just like that. And then you can start to tighten. And then I like to make sure that it winds on the bottom side. That way you get just the proper tension over the nut. Now after I've done that, I like to cut that little piece off. Because you don't want that little end piece stabbing you in the eye, believe me.
Ask if you'll be losing all of this, and lay your body down to final rest. Carry you.
Remember, pull it up. Just kind of bend some fingers and put one finger down at the 12th fret. And then you're good. Bend it around the top. Same exact method, only now the thinner gauge strings are, of course, a lot easier to do. There we go. Tie it off.
You know you. Call it a breakdown. I can see my body on the ground.
Alright, so now that you've done setting all your strings on, what you gotta do is you should clip these off as you do each string, because I've leaned forward and had it poke me in the cheek before. I don't want to know what happened if it poked me in the retina. So, and these are very sharp and very stiff strings. So I like to just, as I do each one, go through and clip them off so you eliminate the risk. And that is how you string an acoustic guitar. You don't always have to tie off the thicker gauge strings because they're thick enough to hold on to themselves, but the thin ones, usually it's good to do that. That way you don't get slippage and playing a song and it goes out of tune with a bend or something like that. And it should look something like this. You always want to be evenly around the same side of the post, all of them, and then split the other way, the opposite way, down a split tuner headstock like that. So